Hi guys, Coach Carter here. So we're coming out with a new video on pull-up progression exercises. We've done other progression videos on lunges and push-ups and squats, and now we're going to finish it up with pull-ups. Again, this is a basic body weight movement, but it's pretty hard to accomplish for young high school athletes, specifically girls that don't traditionally have the upper body strength that males do when they first come into the weight room. So there are some specific exercises we can do to develop the strength to start doing pull-ups and chin-ups without any assistance. So why progressions in general? Most high school age kids don't begin with the upper body strength to perform pull-ups with good form. I would say the vast majority don't. Some can do one or two, but very few high school kids come in the weight room that can just rep out really good consistent pull-ups. So this is definitely an exercise that progressions come in handy with. Progressions will obviously help us develop the strength. So some general cues that I have for the pull-ups. I want to keep the hands just outside the shoulders. We do chin-ups and we do pull-ups. I would say we regularly focus on pull-ups to get a little more of the shoulder forearm action going on, but we will also throw in chin-ups. One of the big cues is go until chin is above the bar. So once they get enough strength, we want to get them all the way up and then going all the way down into full extension at the bottom. Again, full extension. You'll see kids usually, go partial. If you just keep them saying, hey, go all the way down, they usually get the hang of it. And then we don't want them swinging or kicking. Again, kipping or all that CrossFit stuff. That's cool and stuff for more advanced athletes, but I don't want to get kids in the habit of kicking and swinging because then it turns into a jungle gym in the weight room. So keep the legs quiet and just work on the upper body. So for the videos, okay, so again, the general theme of all the progression videos is we start with the easiest exercise to achieve and work our way down to the hardest. So that would be the same philosophy we're going on with the with the pull-up progression exercises. So the ground exercises, I think, are a great starting point, right? It's a lot easier to activate that those upper body muscles. When you just start on the bar, kids are going to have grip issues. Most of them can't even work their way up. So I think working on the ground, as you see in the picture to your left, is a lot easier to start. So I would start with an iso hold. So my feet are flat in this position. I'm going to pull myself up and hold the top for anywhere between 3 to 5 seconds. So in the video, you can see I'm up and I'm holding, and all those muscles are firing. And even on the ground, you'll feel it. But you can do anywhere between 4 to 5 reps, 5-second holds. Again, you want to get that chest as close to the bar as possible. And it's a great starter. Get that isometric contraction firing. Exercise number 2 is ground pull-ups with your feet flat. Sorry about the commentary here. This was used for a Twitter video. But again, when the feet are flat, it's going to be a lot easier to do this exercise. So when the feet are flat, the knees go up. It's going to be a lot easier for kids to get up and down. So I recommend doing that as more of a starting exercise. And again, you want your chest under the bar. You don't want to have, you actually want a little bit more of your eyes under the bar. You want to have your wrist right outside your shoulders. And again, most kids will be able to bring themselves up. If an athlete can't bring themselves up from the ground, then you might want to start them with just the push-up progressions and start even slower. But I think most high school age kids will be able to move themselves from the ground into that up position. So again, nice and fluid. Try to get that chest up, feet flat on the ground. I don't think I've seen the strength develop pretty quickly after doing these exercises for a few weeks. And the third ground pull-up exercise is with your legs straight. Now this is going to be much harder. You're pulling up a lot more of the lower body, a lot more of the trunk. So kids will have a harder time getting all the way up. But again, hopefully they're developing that strength from doing the first 2 exercises after a week or 2. So again, now it's the same theory, except now my legs are straight. And I'm definitely going to be feeling more tension in my upper body as I pull myself up. So how you can get this apparatus set up. So this is a squat rack. I just put the bar on the safety supports and I walked it out. The bar does roll a little bit, so make sure kids have that bar all the way pushed to where the uprights are so it doesn't fly off. And, again, I think they like being on the ground. It's kind of different. Hopefully your weight room's clean enough to where they're not going to get disgusting down there, but it really just helps activate those upper body pull-up muscles more effectively, in my opinion, when they start on the ground. And then we actually move to the pull-up bar. So the 4th exercise I don't have a video of, but it's a band pull-up. So essentially you put a band around your knee and then you string it in to the pull-up bar, and it's just going to give you a lot of assistance when you're doing the pull-up. So 2 reasons I like this. 1, it gets the kids moving through the full range of motion of the pull-up. 2, kids experience some success, right? They'll be on this band, they love it, right? It's an absolutely joy for them to actually be kind of, again, they feel like they're kind of on a ride, but make sure they understand there's actually a point to this. But it's not going to be extremely taxing for them. They're probably going to be able to complete a band pull-up, or at least they should, especially after doing the ground progressions. But I like the fact that they're just getting the muscle memory of being upright, going all the way up, going all the way down, and having some success with the exercise. So again, I'm sure there's lots of YouTube videos of band pull-ups. It's wrapped around the bar, and then it hangs, and then the kids put one knee through it, and that's going to assist them up. Moving on here, so now the next 2 exercises, I call them jump pull-ups. In the video, you're going to see me stepping on a chair. Either way works fine. You know, if the bars are a little higher, you might have to step. If the bar's low enough for the kid to jump effectively, they can jump. Again, sometimes you do have issues with a kid jumping and falling back. That has happened rarely, but it does happen. So make sure kids, when they do jump, they're firmly grabbing the bar. But as we went with the iso pull-up on the ground, now we're doing the iso pull-up in the upright position. So in the video, you're going to see me stepping, and now I'm just going to hold my chin above the bar for 5 seconds. I'm able to hold myself up for 5 full seconds and then go all the way down. A lot of kids, when they first do this, they're going to start above, and they're gradually going to sink because they don't have the upper body strength to hold. So that's going to be a very common, I wouldn't even call it an error. I would just call it a muscle imbalance at the beginning of this exercise. So again, the goal is to hold for 5 seconds, isometrically contract all those upper body muscles, and then let yourself go all the way back down. Again, probably 2 to 3 reps is more than enough for this. Again, you just want to get those isometric upper body muscles firing and contracting. Okay, so now moving into jump tempo. Okay, so now it's the same theory with either jumping or stepping. Now I'm going to jump up into the top position and eccentrically control the movement down. So for 3 to 5 seconds, I think 5 is a good cue for this one because you don't want guys to go down too fast. You want them to actually control it and contract as they go down. So in the video, you'll see I'm jumping up and then slowly going down. And again, you want to make sure they're going at a nice even pace, and on the 5 count, they should be at the very, very bottom. You can have them re-step. I think it's a little easier for the grip. And again, I'm controlling that movement down. So if you're looking at the 3 movements in a rep, right? We got eccentric, we got isometric, we got concentric. So the band work concentric because we're moving a little faster. Iso holds work the isometric portion, and then eccentric, the tempos work the eccentric movement. So we're actually working all 3 individual movements of the pull-up exercise, which hopefully prepares us to do full regular pull-ups within an adequate time frame for your athletes. Okay, the last 2, again, I don't have videos of because I didn't have an assistant and it would be hard to film. But for assisted pull-ups, be careful with these. What I found is, and what I mean by assisted pull-up is someone is behind the lifter and either holding their feet, which I'm not a huge fan of because if they lose their hands, they're falling face first. But ideally, they're grabbing their waist and helping them up or down. I find it just becomes kind of too goofy. You know, either the spotter's pulling up too much or the lifter's not lifting hard enough or they swing. So I think with older kids, you can probably get away with doing assisted pull-ups. Again, I'm not saying you can't do it. I still do it intermittently, but I wouldn't spend a ton of time on having your kids, if they're not strong enough to do a pull-up, assisted pull-ups with a kid helping them really isn't going to add that much to it. What's going to end up happening is the spotter is just going to end up lifting them up. So if hopefully they're to the point where they can actually get pretty close to doing a regular pull-up, and in that case, the spotter would just be guiding them nice and gently. When you are doing this exercise, you need to tell the spotter, don't lift the kid, just give them some nice, easy guidance up. And again, the last one before hopefully your athletes can do regular pull-ups will be assisted pull-ups with a tempo down. So again, the spotter would help them up with the athlete still pulling, and then at the top, the athlete by themselves will be doing tempo down. So it's like a 50-50 pull up, spotter and lifter, and then it's 100% athlete controlling the tempo down. So I think These can all incorporate into your pull-up progressions. I think the ground ones are really, really effective. I think, I really feel ground can be incorporated year-round, especially with your younger athletes, because it's going to take them some time to develop the strength to do regular pull-ups, but eventually they'll be able to go down this progression and start hitting those regular pull-ups. So into the programming side of it, again, these can be done as a workout in the warm-up, or they can be built in. So sometimes I'll say with my older football players, say we're doing 4x10 pull-ups as an aux exercise. I also, as a closer, I'll have different pull-up exercises to get the kids in a burnout phase. Again, though, with the whole theme of progression exercises, right? Especially with, my experience, girls and big athletes like football linemen, having them hang on to the bar, and having them struggle to do one or two is really not going to get them in a place to do active full rep pull-ups, right? They really, in my opinion, should focus on these ground exercises, band and jumps. Those are going to get them the strength and the muscle memory and the reps to actually get that strength developed to do active pull-ups, right? If you got a 250-pound kid that can't do one pull-up, right? Him hanging on the bar trying to do one every week isn't going to get him progressed effectively. So hopefully you guys can knock these exercises out. Again, on the YouTube channel, High School Weightlifting 101, there's all the progressions in a playlist, and hopefully you guys can get after it with your kids. So thanks for watching.